They wouldn't give me the answer, so I gotta go out and get it. I'ma hold them all for ransom. This how I planned it. Did it right here where I'm standing. Came from the mud, they counted us out. Now we standing on the planet.
My name's Jared Glover. I'm the founder of Glover Customs and Off-Road. Glover Customs kind of got organized and got its name and its logo for the first time in about 2015. But it really started with my first truck all the way back to 2005. It was a 2005 Silverado 3/4 ton Duramax with a 6-inch FabTech lift, 20-inch wheels, 35-inch Nitto mud grapplers, which I can still remember driving home in it, and mud grapplers are the one tire that everybody can hear you coming, just wah, 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 wah. But had road armor bumpers on it and a worn winch, and it that truck was incredible. And it's where Mike and I first met, and it was my first really interaction with the dealership. But that truck, it was a lot for a 16-year-old kid, but my dad was always really supportive of both athletics and academics, and I would set goals, and as long as I achieved what I had set out to achieve, the truck was kind of the carrot per se, and I didn't want to lose my truck. My truck was everything to me when I was 16. So I knew that I had to walk the straight and narrow path and perform academically. That was the main thing. At that point in time, I wasn't really involved at the dealership at all, because I was 15 going on 16, not working yet, totally focused on football. But Dad, basically said, hey, here's my thoughts. He wanted me to be in something big because he wanted to make sure that, 16-year-old boy, if I got in an accident, he wanted me to win the accident. So, we started with a 3/4 ton Duramax. It was black. And I knew Mike just from like Christmas parties and things like that, but I hadn't really spent a lot of time with anybody, because I wasn't around the dealership much at that point in time. But Dad, he gave me a budget, and I kind of talked about what I thought I'd want to do, and then he let Mike and I handle the rest. And Mike actually was the technician that lifted my first truck way back then. And it's cool now that here we are almost 20 years later, and we're both still having the time of our lives doing this, and we've gotten much, much better at what we do. We're really proud of some of the things we've accomplished, some of the things we've built, and excited about what the future is going to bring as well.
I'm Mike Burruss. I am the director of Glover Customs. We build some of the baddest vehicles on the planet. Mine and Jared's ideas was really close. I think that's what makes his and I relationship so unique, is we share the same vision on what a vehicle would look like. If we wanted to build it for ourselves. There's times we butt heads on wheels. There's times we butt heads, and I will absolutely veto Jared, and he will veto me. But at the end of the day, we come together and we build a pretty good product. We share our ideas, and we're really on the same page as far as what our vision is. We had an accessory shop at our original Chevy store, and we didn't really label it and launch it as Glover Customs at that point. We just did all our own accessories in house. We figured, why pay somebody else to do something that we can do ourselves? So I was a technician that whole time. I was obviously working on normal vehicles and normal customer vehicles, but at the same time, Jared trusted me to build all his vehicles, as far as the lifts and the workmanship and the technical side of it. So I got a lot of insight doing that to know what direction to go on builds now. That really molded me. I don't just see things as a pretty standpoint, but a functional standpoint of how this vehicle is actually going to work for what you're doing with it. I have customers every day that come to me wanting to build a Jeep, and they have no idea what they want. They just say, hey, I want a cool Jeep.
There's always been a stigma that a dealership, it doesn't, know how to operate an accessories department, or they're either going to do cheap work or they're not going to do quality work. They don't know what they're doing. And I think something that we overcame really early on with Glover Customs is we've just stayed committed to quality. And after quality, it was affordability. And we've positioned ourselves now to where we can always make sure that we're competitive from a price standpoint, but we guarantee we're going to deliver the best quality, because at the end of the day, we are backed by the dealership. And there's a reputation there that we're always going to uphold and that we're proud to be a part of. And I think if there's any reservation about whether or not a dealership knows what they're doing when they're lifting your vehicle, I'm confident that we've overcame that, because at the end of the day, we do. We've committed to having the experience, and we've committed to doing the research, to making sure at the end of the day, whatever we are installing and, allowing to drive down the road is going to be the best of the best.
It's more than just parts thrown on a vehicle. These vehicles become I as corny as it sounds, a lot of times I name the vehicles. I'll name them before they ever leave. Like, this is the Pumpkin, or this is the G2, or they're just multiple names of because we make these vehicles, we take them personal, if that makes sense.
Our slogan is everyone's unique and your vehicle should be too. And I think it's especially in Jeep, everybody has the vision of what their dream Jeep looks like. And, for some people it's simple, for some people it's not, and, you see it in wheels and tires. You can see, I have a 392 built right now with 24-inch American Force wheels. I will never take those wheels off-road. And most people wouldn't, right? But, if I were building that Jeep to be, off-road capable, then we're going to move with, and what's fun is all we have to do is just swap wheels and, either a 17-inch or an 18-inch beadlock. But the personality of the person driving the Jeep can kind of come through and how they decide to build it. And that goes all the way back to my first truck. It was black on black. It had a Bank 6-gun programmer on it. It was, the emissions have changed a little bit since 2005, but that diesel truck was fast. And it's fun how a lot of my personality came, because I grew up on four-wheelers and dirt bikes. And, I've thankfully, knock on wood, never gotten in trouble for going too fast, doing anything. But I definitely, would push the limits on a dirt bike, and growing up, my only injuries were football related. I don't know how. I kind of was lucky in that regard, but my truck was, it was me. And I think that's kind of the goal and how we operate. And when somebody engages with Mike, I think they can sense that in Mike, because he really wants the best for whoever is building their, I don't care if it's a truck or a Jeep or a Tahoe or a Wagoneer. And a lot of the things that we suggest are things that we like from a quality aspect or a quality standpoint. And Mike may say, hey, as you're going through this process, here, I can do this for this price point, but I really think you're going to be happier if you go this route, and whether it's spending more or spending less, just because of our experience. And, when you're building a Jeep, it matters. If you get up on the highway and you don't like how your Jeep drives, then you're not going to be happy with it. And we want people bragging about, the fact that they can get up on the highway and drive, the speed limit, or get on the interstate and go 80 miles an hour in a straight line and not feel like their Jeep is out of control. And that's a lot of our goal with not only how we do things, but the products we offer. Because there's lift kits that we've installed that I've then driven, and we've been so unhappy with them that we uninstall them and don't sell them to anyone. And that's happened more than once. But we've just tried to remain dedicated to the fact that at the end of the day, if the product is good, then it's good for our customers, it's good for us. And if it's not, it's not.
The Jeep community, it's not a matter of if they're going to customize their Jeep. It's a matter of who's going to do it. We want them to choose us to do it, but we also make our pricing affordable for them to do it. So everybody has the mentality that, they're part of a dealership, or they've been part of a dealership, or, their prices are going to be outrageous. I competitively price our stuff with anybody in the business, whether it be anywhere from lug nuts to a full-blown lift, wheels, tires. I'm competitive with everyone. And I pride myself in that, because I want to build your Jeep. I want to build your truck. I want you to have the peace of mind of knowing that Glover Customs built your Jeep or your truck, because we take pride in our stuff.
If anybody has any questions, or if, they want to learn more about, what Glover Customs is all about, or maybe you're interested in getting a quote put together on a current vehicle that you own, or if you're interested in how do you go about the process of buying the stock Jeep and having it built to be your dream Jeep, please reach out to me directly, jglover@jimglover.com. You can visit us at glovercustoms.com and see all the photos and things we've done. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can reach Mike at glovercustoms.com.